Hey there, Canonites! Welcome back for our fifth and final video covering Halo Infinite's early missions, this one for the tower. Now, this one is easily the most spoilery, so enter at your own peril. I'll try to give heads up on the major spoilers. Obviously nothing like huge, but, you know, it might be stuff that you'd rather experience yourself. And I'll try to give a heads up when that stuff happens. Now, for anyone still around, I wanted to open up, also for the... also to avoid spoilers, but I wanted to open up, like, just kind of approaching the base at night here, so you can just kind of see the skybox. The day-night cycle in this game was amazing, and there's actually a really cool aspect of it that I hadn't really thought about until I actually played the game, and that was how this, you know, kind of works out. Because a Halo, you know, a Halo isn't a planet, so it wouldn't have a normal 24-hour night and day cycle. And so like this rapid, oh God, I gotta not touch my mic. But no, like this, you know, relatively speaking, rapid transition between night and day, it happens over the course of hours in game. But, you know, if that were in the real life, it'd be like, wait a minute, a day's passing in 5 hours? What the hell? But, you know, usually that's one of those things you just kind of accept as a given in a game with a day-night cycle. But in the case of Halo, it actually kind of makes sense in a weird way. Just because, you know, the sun is basically just going behind the ring for a little bit. And you get to see the night sky. And then when it's actually, it's a lot more like a lunar eclipse than an actual day-night cycle. But again, I'm freaking out over this tiny little detail, but I'm sorry. I just really loved it when it kind of clicked for me. As you can see now, though, we are finally getting into Ransom Keep. Or, sorry, not Ransom Keep. The Tower, as it's called. The 4th level of the game. Levels in this game are handled very interestingly. Because with the exception of a few places, like once you get into the open world part of it, you know, there's a lot less traditional level structure, but there also is kind of a linear guide to it all that in a way that doesn't detract from, you know, being allowed to explore the world at your leisure, go where you want and all that. It's hard to describe without breaking a rule or getting into too many spoilers, because I need to give examples of what I mean. Hopefully you can just kind of get a general idea of what I mean through this. At this point, I am now running around the outer edges of the keep, just kind of taking out a few people from a distance. Love exploding those things. Hey, another bold brute. Oh no, I've ran out of ammo. But I thought this was kind of cool how there's like a sub base or a mini base right next to it, and maybe a lookout outpost, and I don't know. But the fact that it had a gravity lift, I don't know, that just brought a smile to my face. I don't recall how often, if at all, those appeared in like the Bungie games, but I've loved seeing them in 343's games. Now, the very next scene, I do believe, is about to get into spoilers, so click out if you don't want to get spoiled on anything. Again, it's not heavy spoilers, I'd consider, but you know, this might be something you'd rather experience for yourself. But the reason I included it is because I wanted to emphasize how awesome the character writing in this game is. Not every boss, not every character that you encounter is going to get stuff like this, but the characters that they did choose to flesh out like this are usually really awesome. This guy has some great over-the-top moments. Oh, you know what I love right at the end there? How he nods to someone who's, you know, off hologram. It just adds this level of realism to the events going on. But yeah, that character, he's a lot of fun. There's a lot of very fun characters in this. The character writing in general is just really, really damn good. Even like some of the more questionable moments in this game still have me like, okay, that works because X, Y, and Z with this character, right? Again, I can't get too specific just because of potential spoilers and stuff I'm not allowed to talk about, but yeah. Hopefully that gives you an idea of what's going on. All right, at this point, we are activating the gravity lift into the tower, and naturally that'll bring in plenty of reinforcements. Now, as you'll see right there, there's one of the skirmishers. And I want to talk about them for a second while the gameplay is going on here. The skirmishers in this game were a lot of fun. They're very reminiscent of Reach, but they're not very annoying. I always felt they were kind of annoying in Reach. And I think a part of that's because you only have a single rank of skirmisher in there. Now, there was some question about whether or not these were actually skirmishers when they were first seen in some of the IGN or Game Informer coverage. But I did go up close to the bodies on my own time, of course, not in here. And they do have unique models. Like, they have unique plumage and shit. So it's not just a Kig Yar or it's not just a Jackal in skirmisher armor. Though, funny enough, they actually call them Jackal skirmishers in this game. But they're all Kig Yar. They are authentic skirmishers to Vowan skirmishers. And that was a really cool surprise. Yeah. You can hear some of the the villains in this game are just great. They talk you up. They're like, I'm really excited to see you because, in the case of Escharum, it's like, oh, I want to fight. In the case of this guy, I want to get the glory of killing you. Now we are starting to approach what I'm considering the cutoff point for this level for myself, and that's basically right before the boss fight. And I wanted to do that because it's another one of those moments that's better experienced for yourself. Because I think I am allowed to show that, but I'd personally rather not. And I guess since I sound unsure, better safe than sorry anyway. But yeah, listen to that. Listen to this audio, this dialogue he's giving as he taunts the chief. It just gives him such character. I love it. So now this was a fun surprise. If you saw one of my previous videos, I talked about how I didn't really care for the disruptor, this pistol I have, and how I unloaded like 3 clips into a grunt and it didn't die. Well, apparently I captured that. I thought it was one of my, off-camera moments. No, there it was, right there, for now everyone to see. Anyway, yeah, I don't like the disruptor. It could use a buff. Anyway, this is where we're going to have to start wrapping it up, because we are about to get into the boss fight. That's why I'm upgrading right now. So thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed all of this coverage, all of these previews for those of you who watched. Those of you who didn't, I more than understand. This is a game that definitely benefits by going in blind. So, but for those of you who did watch, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it helped build your hype for Infinite. And until next time, this has been Halo Canon. First, I'd like to give a big thank you to our Horospus patrons. First, there's Hope, then we have Freight, Man in the Dark, Keisha Dila, Daddy Anarchy, Great Scott Productions, Jumpy Sucks Balls, and Lone Ronin 117. Thank you all for your amazing support of the channel. Next, I'd like to thank our theoretical patrons. If you'd like to see your name here or get a direct shout out, check out patreon.com/HaloCanon. You can simply support the channel or get additional benefits, such as behind-the-scenes materials, including raw audio for upcoming videos, or even shoutouts like this. All patrons now get early access to certain videos as well, and more benefits are to come. However, your continued viewership is more than enough for me. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and maybe even subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. If you really enjoy this, turn on that notification bell so you can be among the first to see new videos when they release. But for all my fellow Canonites, keep on being awesome.